YouTube. Today I'm doing a review of the 9mm Walther PPS, which I've been using for a few weeks now, and I think it's a really great handgun for concealed carry. I'll go ahead and safety check the gun for you guys, so you know everything is safe for filming today. There's no ammo in the magazine, and the chamber is clear. The PPS is made in Germany, and PPS stands for Police Pistol Slim. It is a single stack striker fired polymer framed handgun that can be purchased for around $550 to $600. It comes in both a 9mm version like this or a 40 caliber, and the 9mm was released in 2007 and the 40 caliber was released in 2008. There are a lot of features I really like about the PPS, starting with the fact that there are 3 different factory magazine options for it, so you can configure it for whichever extension works best for you. The 9mm has the option of either a 6, 7, or 8 round magazine, and the 8 round magazine here gives you a full-size grip. The 7 rounder gives you a pinky extension, and then the 6 round magazine sits flush for best concealment. And then for the 40 caliber version, there's just 1 less round each per mag, so that has either a 5, 6, or 7 round mag option. This 9mm PPS came with both the 6 and 7 round magazines, so it came with 2. I do know that some have come with 7 and 8 round magazines, so it seems to vary. Spare mags cost about $45 each, which is a bit pricey, like other Walther mags, but I will say they are really nice. They're made of steel, and they're made in Italy for Walther by Metgar. Also, the PPS does not have a magazine disconnect, which I think is good, so it is still capable of firing with the magazine removed. As for the parts, it has a steel slide and barrel, which are both Tenefer coated. The barrel has standard rifling. There's very little play in the slide to frame fit, which is good. Also, there is a 1-slot accessory rail on the bottom here for attaching a light or a laser. I really like the nice loaded chamber indicator window on top here, where you can easily see a glint of brass when it's loaded, like on my M&P. I also really love the striker indicator here on the rear of the slide. You can see red when it's cocked and ready to fire, and when you are pulling the trigger, the striker indicator pokes out a little bit, so you can see it or feel it. As you can see, the striker indicator sits flush here with the rear of the slide, but I do wish it always stuck out a little bit, like on the Walther P99. That would be nice, but I do really love that feature of this gun. As for safeties, there are no external safeties on the PPS or options for one. There is only a safety lever here in the middle of the trigger, like on the Walther PPQ or on Glocks. The only ambidextrous feature of this handgun is the trigger guard mag release, which is also on the PPQ and the P99. I really like that feature because I can easily drop the mag with my weak hand if I ever needed to. And it's very low profile. It's in very tight, it's flush with the trigger guard, difficult to snag, very little chance of accidental mag release. And most people can probably use their thumb to release the mag. As you can see, my thumbs are really short, my hands are way too small for that. But I find it very easy to use my index finger to drop the mag. Although after a few hours of shooting, the tip of my finger got pretty irritated. But I do really like that mag release. The slide stop here is not ambidextrous. It is only on this side to use with your right hand. I'll show you a different PPS here. As you can see, it is unloaded. This is a PPS that has had the external portion of the slide stop modified along with the guard around it. So now it sits flush and brings it to the actual width of the PPS frame, which is 0.91 inches. So it's more like a Beretta Nano, which has no slide stop. Having the slide stop on here makes the PPS width 1.01 inches, which I measured using calipers, although it's listed on the site as being 1.04 inches wide. This modified PPS means that you now have to rack the slide to release it once inserting a new mag. And Walther does not make a two-toned PPS like this one. This one was refinished aftermarket by Robar in NP3 Plus finish, which is very corrosion resistant and self-lubricating, and that enhances the reliability and makes cleaning faster. And I think it looks really cool too, although it does make the slide frame fit slightly tighter than on the other PPS here, which is slightly harder for me to rack, but I can still do it, and the gun still functions just fine. The sights on the PPS are made of steel, which is great, and as you can see, they are tapered, just like on the PPQ, which helps draw your eyes to your target. You can get the PPS with either standard 3-dot sights or with night sights, and the sights are numbered. Like you can see here, this one has a 4 because there are different front sight heights available. Night sights were not an option when these two PPSs were bought, so these Trijicon night sights were installed by Tooltech Gun Sight, and they did a really good job. They look just like stock night sights. I'll talk a bit here about the back straps. There are 2 different back strap options for the PPS. You've got a small or a large. They are not marked, but as you can see, there's a noticeable difference. I've got the small on this one, and then the one next to it here is the large. To change out the back strap, you do have to remove the magazine. Then as you can see here, you would catch your finger in that little groove and pull it off. I'll show that in a bit. The PPS has what they call quick safe technology, which means when you remove the back strap, it decocks the striker and the pistol cannot fire. I did not have any issues with it, but I don't like that feature because it's a possible weak point in the design. It's probably unlikely, but I think it could break and leave the pistol disabled if you dropped it. So as an idea for peace of mind, you could use a rubber sleeve like this one to protect it and also enhance your grip. This grip sleeve is a Hogue Handall Junior that has been trimmed to clear the magazine well. It's not very thick, and I think it's more comfortable than the regular grip. On the regular grip, there are these raised bumps for traction. There's also light texturing on the front of the grip and on the back strap, but it's not very aggressive. But if you were using the PPS as a pocket gun, you might not want very aggressive grip texturing anyway. It's very easy to disassemble the PPS. First, you just take out your magazine and then double check that your gun is clear. Point it in a safe direction and pull the trigger. Then you will pull back a little bit on the slide, and then you will grab the takedown lever on both sides and then pull it down, and then you can slide the slide forward. So you pull back, pull down on the takedown lever on both sides, and then you can slide the slide off the frame. I do want to mention that this takedown lever hurts my fingers pretty quickly. I wish it was more like the takedown lever on the Walther PPQ. As you can see, that one is polymer and it's also flush with the frame. This one here on the PPS is kind of like a Glock's, but it's still fine. It's just if you disassemble it a lot, your finger will get the imprint on there. It's kind of uncomfortable. So here is your slide. Here's your spring, which you would take out. And then here's your barrel. And then to put it back in, just be sure to put it in straight and drop it down in straight. And then the big end of the spring goes forward. And then you will catch the rear of the spring down in that little groove there. You have to push a little bit to get it down in there, just like that. And then you gently slide it back onto the frame. I will say that the heavy spring inside the PPS makes it more difficult for me to rack the slide than I'm used to, but there are these really nice deep serrations on the slide which help, so I can still do it fine. Also, I want to mention that because of the quick safe technology that I mentioned earlier with the back strap, you can also disassemble the PPS without having to pull the trigger by removing the back strap. So I'll go ahead and show you the other way to disassemble this pistol. Again, you would take out the magazine, and then you have to remove your back strap. So you will catch your finger up in here and whoop, pull it off. Not so aggressively, but and then you do not have to pull the trigger. Then you just pull down on both sides of the takedown lever and slide the slide forward. You don't even have to pull it back. So now that the back strap is off, just pull down, and then you can slide off the slide, and again take out your spring and your barrel and all that. But you do have to put the back strap back on before reassembling the pistol. And I want to point out here that there are a few dots on the frame. One is underneath where the back strap goes, and then one is visible from the outside. But there are also 2 dots here on the back strap, and you have to line those up. And then also there is a tab here on the inside of the back strap, which has to fit into this little notch. So you'll feel the tension when you're putting it on. You have to align the dots, and then you have to put the tab in the hole there, and then you have to push it upwards and towards the grip, which might take you a minute to figure out, but it goes just like that. And then you can put the slide back on the frame gently. I just got the new 9mm M&P Shield, which I already really love. So I wanted to show a quick size comparison between it and the Walther PPS, because I think they're both really great options for concealed carry. For single stack 9mm handguns, I think that the M&P Shield will be a very strong competitor with the PPS. They are both very similar in size and weight, and they're both very narrow, as you can see here. Also, the grip lengths are very similar, and they both have loaded chamber indicator windows on the top, which I really like. I didn't mention it earlier regarding the grip on the PPS, but even with the smallest back strap on it, with my small hands, I can't quite get a proper grip on the gun, and my finger isn't quite where I would like it on the trigger. With the M&P Shield, the grip does fit my hand better. I can get proper placement on the trigger with my finger. And also I'll try to show you the barrel lengths here. PPS is in the back. You can see that the barrel length on the PPS is slightly longer. So that's just a quick size comparison for you guys. I'll go ahead and do a more thorough review on the M&P Shield soon. Here I made a chart for you guys to easily compare 4 different single stack 9mm handguns. I chose the Walther PPS, the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield, the Ruger LC9, and the Beretta Nano because I think they're 4 excellent choices for concealed carry. although there are definitely a lot of other gun options out there. I'll start with capacity. The Beretta Nano and the LC9 each only have one magazine option, whereas the Shield has an extended magazine and the PPS has 3 different magazine options. For the unloaded weight, the PPS and the Shield are the heaviest of the 4. For most of the measurements, these 4 guns are very similar. The Beretta Nano is the shortest overall length, whereas the PPS is the longest. For the trigger pull, I checked the trigger pull weights of the Walther PPS and the M&P Shield using this Timney trigger pull scale. And for pricing, the Ruger LC9 is the least expensive and the Walther PPS is the most expensive. I shot 565 rounds through the PPS using a broad mix of different brands of full metal jacket and also self-defense ammo, and I didn't have any failures of any kind, so it ran really great for me. Overall, I really enjoyed this pistol, and I've been carrying it for a while, and I think it's a great option for a single stack 9mm concealed carry handgun. So, thank you guys for watching today, and I'll see you later.